not Macho Man music, but
No. I think that Macho Man music would definitely draw a flag from somewhere's automated detection.
Macho Man
Graduation.
NWO. Yeah, his graduation song was terrible. I did not like it. His NWO song was a lot better.
I remember being in elementary school and going to my brother's graduation, not realizing that was traditionally graduation music for a lot of places.
Did you think the Macho Man was coming?
No, I didn't think the Macho Man was coming out, but I thought they were intentionally using the Macho Man's music.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was the most amazing thing ever. Reality is often disappointing when you find out what actually happened there.
Sure.
So, let me get our notes pulled up here. All right, so we have nothing for WWE this week, really, right?
The only thing I watched was AEW and
Okay.
a little bit of NWA.
Yeah, I looked into some NWA stuff. So the only thing I saw that even interested me was on SmackDown having Bryan and Miz team up.
Yeah.
I like it when they are doing stuff together because I think they're both good.
I do like
still a huge Miz fan.
Yeah.
And I was a Miz fan when no one was. Well, not no one, but not many people were a Miz fan.
Sure.
I thought he was good back then.
Yeah.
He's obviously gotten better. I don't think you could deny that.
Yeah.
So.
The one thing I do like about WWE storytelling, and maybe I'm convincing myself that they are doing this, and they probably aren't, but that the Fiend is turning people back to their popular gimmicks.
He's beating them so badly they devolve.
Yes. Back into a cooler gimmick, I guess.
I mean, as long as it's consistent and they slow down, they've set it up now. If they slow down on it and you have Bray doing stuff, and then the Fiend doesn't show up as often, that's fine. I mean, you can make that work. You got to trick I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of the Fiend. I'd really love to get rid of the red lighting.
Yeah,
when he goes around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that. I'm trying to think if they did anything else on anything WWE. There was some NXT stuff. Mm-hmm. They had the Cole and Finn match.
They had the women's championship that I keep seeing over and over again.
Yeah, and that's a big deal.
The Bleacher Report, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just not into NXT at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, she's held the women's title forever. So
it's time for a change, I guess.
I think they've built the story. I'm not familiar with the story at this point, but I'm fairly certain they've built to this. This was a culmination of a pretty lengthy, legitimate story.
So, unlike AEW, they've actually built something with the women's championship.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure because that is a failing for sure with them. But yeah, so Cole retained the title against Finn because Johnny Wrestling showed up. And distracted him. I have come to just loathe, I think is the word I'm going to use for it. The person comes out to the entrance ramp and you get beat. It's happened so much that it's just infuriating at this point. Where it's every single time. And they don't even do anything. They just stand there. It's one thing if they're down there and they jump up on the ring apron or, in this case, Finn was the bad guy in the situation, so he shouldn't really care other than be oh, I hope he doesn't mess with me. Now, it'd be different if Gargano was in the ring, Baylor showed up, and then he was so enraged because he put him out of action for a while that he went to attack him because just rage. Sure. I don't know. I guess fear is what distracted him or shock. I can't believe that I really didn't hurt you that badly, and then you came back.
Yeah.
That's literally how I feel. It's just man.
Maybe
there's certain things in wrestling that I accept, but some of it's there's got to be a better way.
Maybe the Fiend should come attack Balor again. No, be the good Balor and become the demon.
I'm more interested in bad guy version than I am good guy version because the word vanilla or white meat gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah, he was very boring as a good guy.
Now maybe if he would have had the title run that he was scheduled for, when he first showed up on the main roster, I don't know,
maybe.
But I don't know. Let's see. We'll hit NWA here.
Okay.
So we had talked about Marty where it'd be a big deal because we were comparing him to X-Pac.
Yes.
Or the 1, 2, 3 Lightning 6 Kid.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't a big deal when he went over to NWO.
Yeah.
It was like, no one was like, oh my God, I can't believe he left the... Like, of course he did. Like, no one cared.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how where Marty showing up in AEW wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world because it'd be like, well, of course he did.
Yeah.
It'd actually be a bigger deal if he showed up to WWE, in my mind, in the sense of unexpectedness. But I don't know if it's going to do a lot of good. Never occurred to me that he could show up at NWA. Like, wasn't even on my radar. It makes total sense, and it's not a surprise. But like in the sense of like once you know it, it's like, oh yeah, it didn't occur to me that that was an option for some reason.
Yeah, it kind of goes into their storyline, I guess. Him and Nick there.
Yeah. So I watched kind of his debut at the End of the Fire event. I watched the promos and everything with them. The national title is garbage still. Yeah. I never heard Aldis call people ham sandwiches walking around.
Yeah.
And that is my favorite thing ever. The TV title is being brought back at their next event. And I'm excited about that. I was hoping AEW would have like a TV title.
I think maybe eventually they will do it. Or, see, I'm wondering. Now this is all just me speculation. I wonder if NWA and AEW's got something working here, especially with Colt Cabana showing up on AEW Dark next week.
Right. Well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt them to work together.
No,
and it would be more interesting. I mean, the NWA title, like the lineage of it, is impressive. They've been working pretty hard to make it legitimate. But then again, they have an actual partnership with the AAA, and they don't use any of their titles. So I don't know what. Have you seen their titles? Like, I talk about the national title being garbage.
Yeah, this is true.
Their titles...
AAA titles are pretty ugly.
Equally as ugly, yes. I do believe. And then you sent me a picture where last week where I was carrying on about it looks like a fruit by the foot with some metal plates on it, and someone actually has made that picture.
Yes.
Now, I don't know that had anything to do with us.
Yes.
Because... it's not a far conclusion to come to that. Like, I'm not claiming to be the most creative person in the world when I was calling it that. But I hadn't seen anyone say that. But it does not shock me that other people came to the same conclusion about that belt. It is awful.
When I saw that, I laughed. I was like, oh, I got to share this to Ross.
I am going to make something, and I will do it before we post the podcast, just in case, because I haven't seen this done. Okay. But do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer's brother works at the car place?
Yes.
And they allow Homer to create the car?
Yes.
Homer created that belt. So I'm going to take the belt and put it over the Homer and just post that with a tweet or something, because it's...
Yes.
It's just bad.
Yes, I agree.
Like, we're not in the minority. Like, I would love anyone.
Well, there were some people actually defending and saying that it looks good. I'm like, I don't know how
they don't. No, I don't know. They're just being contrary. I need a breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they talk about like people's looks are based on symmetry?
Yes.
Like if you look at one side of a face to another, there's a symmetry that we are just for some reason hardwired that like affects our view of beauty.
Yeah.
I would like to see what those people who think that belt looks good with zero symmetry think is a attractive human.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, maybe we're all just brainwashed,
yes.
And they are correct.
Yes.
But I think that there is something wrong with them, or they're just pretending. They're like, I'm so hipster with my drink that no one drinks now. My Canada Dry, seltzer water, and they eat like the old Burger King fries, like they have in their freezer before they switched them for the 18th time. Like, this is much more sophisticated.
Since you went down the route of Burger King fries, they are pretty bad.
They've never. My wife likes them.
Oh, God.
I don't understand it because I remember they changed them the one time, and they had the big deal with Mr. Potato Head,
yes.
Which is messed up if you think about it. They're like, behold, all.
so covered. There's so much.
We're going way into it.
Into the, I kept hearing things call it into the weeds.
Let's start talking about AEW because I think we spent way too long on an ugly title.
I disagree. I don't think it's been covered enough.
We need another 30 minutes on this title.
I'm going to do my own podcast that's going to come up later in the week where I just read negative adjectives. All right, let's do AEW for 12/18. It opened up with the Lucha Bros against Page and Omega. I thought the match itself was entertaining.
Yeah.
I did question at one point, I was like, does Pentagon Jr. sell? Like, he lays on the ground, but once he's up moving, he's never slower.
Yes.
I've never seen a match where his knee's been worked on that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are, but I don't know if he continues to sell the knee. Like,
but that's AAA though.
Right, but that's like it. Just for some reason in this match, because Phoenix seems to sell more than him, but like with Omega and like
I question that Phoenix. I think he actually does hurt himself because that guy is bouncing around all over the place.
Yes, but like it just really stuck out for some reason. Something in this one really stuck out to me, and I was like, he's just always full speed. Like there's never that little bit of like, oh man, I've been beat up, I'm a little bit tired, and then like, because I accept the adrenaline rush, and you can do stuff that you normally wouldn't do to your condition, but he's just like, oh, I'm dead, I'm alive. I'm dead. Like it goes from like dead cell to no cell, and somehow it stuck out to me on this one, so I'm gonna have to start watching closer. But so anyway, Lucha Bros win because Page and Omega are not on the same page. Yeah. They get in each other's faces. And then...
But they were getting ready to do blows and then...
Right. Which I'm interested to see those two fight. Yes. That'll be fine. I think it'll be a good match for sure. And then old Pac shows up and I guess he kidnaps Michael Nakazawa.
Yes.
Is what we're...
It was weird.
He was just gone.
Didn't show anything. They didn't know what happened, so I guess Pac has a new traveling buddy.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny that, like, because there wasn't, like, a payoff anywhere else in the show for that, right?
No,
like, he's just gone, right?
Yeah, would you laugh on, like, BTE? Pac just throws Nakazawa out of the car, like, I can't handle it, because there's, like, there's
that would actually be pretty funny. Yeah, they find him somewhere, and, like, that'd be good.
I was going to do something, but you know what? Never mind, just keep him. It's annoying.
Like, his work, like... Pac shows up next week and he's like, Omega, I'm going to do the worst thing I could possibly think of to you. After spending a week with him, he's yours.
Yes.
There's no worse punishment.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it was weird. Yeah, he was just gone.
That's not what I was expecting. So I was like, oh, well that's a twist, I guess.
Did you like how during that match, it was like some kind of technical difficulties in the Dark Order?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like, it's a little bit on the hokey side.
Sure.
But I've loved The Undertaker for so long where it made no sense.
Oh, see, and that...
Like, if I'm okay with The Undertaker controlling lightning and Kane controlling fire, I can't complain about a glitch showing up in a broadcast that...
Ultimate Warrior being invisible to Hulk Hogan as when he's talking to him in a mirror, yes.
I had more problems with that, but I'm not a Warrior fan.
Sure.
So then I think from there we went to, I refer to them as Carby, the Cody and Darby team. Yes. That seems like the best couple name for them.
I like it, Carby.
Against Triple B.
Yeah.
The thing that won... Darby is, I'm fascinated at how fast he is, where he does like the flippy stuff or the rolls or the slides.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like, they'd have time to punch him. Like, he's actually quick enough where it would be hard to react.
Yes.
Unless you're like really, really prepared for it. So, and then, I mean, overall, I thought the match was good. I like Butcher. Like, his overall look, I enjoy.
The only thing I don't like about the way they've been treating Triple B here is that they're not really booked as kind of strong. They came in to pick a fight and they got their butt kicked every time.
Well, no, they won the other one, right?
Did they win that one?
Yeah, they won that one.
Oh, okay.
But that's what led to Darby coming out, and then
that's true. Okay, all right.
I'm not expecting him to win this one, and it's not like they got obliterated.
Yeah,
but I mean, we finally saw, thank the Lord, Darby hit the coffin drop on a person instead of just eating the corner of the ring.
Yes,
because I don't think I can watch that. It hurts so much.
Yeah,
to see that because that's not good. Like, there's no way that feels good. Like, I've fallen off a skateboard. Mm-hmm. I've felt what a wrestling ring feels like. No, there's no way that that's a pleasant thing. But yeah, so Cody and Darby did end up with the win. So we're going to get Cody Darby 2.
Yeah, which should be good.
I'll be excited for.
Yeah.
There. So we alluded to earlier, the women's division in AEW has some problems.
Yes.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm almost at the point to where I don't want to care. Like,
yes.
Up until this point, it's been like, well, I want to give it a shot, and we'll see. It just hasn't, like, because Kong came out, Kong smashed, and I have written here, there was a promo or something.
Yeah.
Kinda. And then later, there was a promo or something.
Well, I think they realized, because from what I've read, a lot of their women wrestlers are contracted in Japan too. So they're part-time in AEW, which is fine, but if your women's champion
is going to Brock Lesnar the belt,
I mean, I think that's why they brought in the alien.
Yeah, Statlander.
Yeah,
we'll get, like, she's good. Like, there are definite bright spots.
Yeah,
100%.
And to defend AEW, I think they realized that they got to do something.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fixable, and that's fine. I mean, how long have we watched WWE? Like, if all of a sudden WWE started to interest me again, like they had a few stories that really, really grabbed me in, that's fine. I'll start watching. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
But you gotta, like, you're gonna have to do something at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a given at this point. I'm asking for a little good faith, basically.
Sure.
Like, show me something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kong just crushes them. But we got from there. Now, I might have missed something here, but I've actually stayed awake on this one. So we got the hype to the Jungle Boy. They had, like, the JR interview. They had the thing they put out on social media where it was Jericho saying 10 minutes over and over with him training.
Yes.
Which is very different. But so we get to the match. So going into it, were you expecting him to just barely hang on, or were you expecting kind of what we got, where it actually?
I was expecting it because I assumed, because Jericho has on his podcast and everything has talked about how great Jungle Boy could be in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had him on there too and talked to him about it.
So I figured he was going to give him the rub, as they say.
Yeah, well, it's another one of those things where Jericho won, but he didn't make, like, Jungle Boy's not like, oh my god, Jungle Boy's unstoppable now, but it's like he needs some work. But like, because they had where he did, like, what, the double code breaker, and then he clearly could have pinned him, but he picked him up, like, kind of early on. So they got that out of the way that Jericho could have beat him, but then he got cute, and that's what cost him.
Yeah.
So at that point, I actually thought that you might get the upset pin from Jungle Boy, like with, like, one of the Hurricanranas or, like, roll up or something.
Well, yeah, because,
like, I legitimately thought that might actually be happening in this one.
Yeah, because he kept saying over and over again that it was not a title defense,
even
though Tony Schiavone on AEW Dark a couple weeks back said it was a title defense.
Yeah, they were real confused on that one.
Yes.
But whatever. That's, of all the nits to pick, so to say.
Sure.
Like, I can let that slide. That, who cares? They could have been like, yeah, Jericho decided he doesn't want to make it a title of defense, and they're going to let him. I mean, they could have done it that way too. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I legitimately thought up until about the last minute where he was in the walls or converted to the lion tamer almost, or what. Either way, like, I really thought that Jungle Boy might get the pin.
Yeah.
And then when they went for the 5 more minutes thing, I thought, oh, he's going to get him in overtime somehow. But Jericho just left.
Yep.
After pummeling him more.
Yes.
But the overall, I mean, I was entertained by the match. Like, it was real heavy in Jericho's favor. So they didn't. I don't think they overdid it, but it's like, okay, he can hang with Jericho and at least survive. That, to me, that brings him up a little bit.
The other thing about the match was when Marco jumped and Jake
just
killed him. Clocked him. I mean, it looked like he literally actually clocked them.
Well, I liked where he was like totally flat, but then his one arm raised up just a little bit, like you'll see like the stiffening when you're out.
Yeah.
So that was amazing, and then he carried him away.
That was good.
And then they actually made both the good guys and bad guys go to the back.
Yeah.
So that was fine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, I thought
it was good.
Yeah, I was entertained. Let's see. So, but yeah, I think that did. Again, as long as they follow up with it like they have Darby, that kind of gives Jungle Boy a little more value, as opposed to if he immediately comes out and he loses to a creeper next week in 5 minutes, then it really undoes everything and makes Jericho look worse. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Putty monster.
Yeah, I'm telling you, sparks in the chest. So we got Christopher Daniels is now sad because people showed him a video of him falling.
Yeah, I just thought it was one of the Lucha Brothers, I guess, are just the ultimate trolls. They just come back there and just like, hey, you suck.
Like, just showed up with it. We didn't mention it, the Adam Page, make it say yeehaw or something.
Oh, yeah, on his
intro.
His
name tag. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was very good.
But yeah, so they're clearly going to do something with those guys, but I just was entertained by that because he walked away so sad.
Yes.
We got to the Statlander Baker match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure since that was the number one contender match, that was their way of getting Baker out of the way. Because I'm still convinced she's slow. Like, not in a mean mental way, but like her movement does not match up.
Yeah,
with
I don't
speed of.
I don't think they found a good dance partner for her.
Right, because I've seen other stuff where she seems to do okay, but I don't know. I also wonder if losing was it Kylie Ray? If that whole I think they probably had pretty big plans for her, and that has messed stuff up. But either way, so Statlander got the one there. So I'm sure that's an intentional thing. I don't know. I mean, Baker's still better than a lot of people, but it just something just off.
Well, she's fairly new to it.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, she's only been wrestling for what 3-4 years or something like that. So,
right.
I mean,
well, and I don't think that it's as easy. Like if you talk about equality in a sense, it's probably a lot harder if you're a woman wrestler getting into it.
Yeah.
To get high caliber opponents and people to work with, where you're going to constantly get better, just because it hasn't been accepted like it is the last couple of years for quite a while.
Well, the one thing I like about Statlander is her punches and kicks actually look like they're punches and kicks.
Yeah.
A lot of the women wrestlers when they throw punches and everything,
there's no conviction
to it.
It
looks so fake. I understand it's fake anyway.
Yes,
but don't ruin my immersion.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, no. Well, we're going to talk about some punches here in a minute.
Yes.
So, but yeah, and I mean, there is a very popular Jon Moxley who, if you look at his WWE striking,
yes,
it doesn't just go to there are people who either don't know how to throw punches or don't understand wrestling. And that sounds like such a horrible insult. Where theater you have to do things bigger, kind of make it look right. Mm-hmm. Jim Ross on his podcast will talk about it all the time. He hated the turnbuckle spot where you punch him 10 times.
Really?
Because there's no way in real life, if I mount you and I punch you dead on in the face 10 times, it's going to cause some damage. You're not going to flare flop out of the corner. You're going to be bleeding, most likely.
Yeah.
But Moxley had horrible strikes when he was Ambrose.
Yes.
He doesn't do the same style of striking now.
Yeah.
So you don't notice it, but it was awful. There are some people, men, women, referee, I don't care who. There are people who have awful strikes.
Yeah.
And sometimes though you just notice it, where it's you're it's like a hammer fist, but you're not even. It's just bad.
Well, I mean, it's funny because if you watch old videos of just the older wrestlers, Scott Hall threw a really good punch because he did he would do the stomp down Macho Man that he said.
Yeah, well, Macho Man had the jab style punch. I think Macho Man also probably actually connected a little bit.
Maybe.
But I've never heard. There was a independent wrestler, Chad Collier. He was actually trained by Dean Malenko and looked almost like Dean Malenko. And people said he had a super loud chop.
Okay.
But anyone who took it they're like, yeah, you really don't even feel it. Like, he was so good at, like, the angle and, like, how you do it, because, like, you kind of cup your hand to get the extra noise in some cases.
Yeah.
Or you just do the open palm thing and just literally just smack the crap out of people.
Sure.
I would be more a fan of the make it sound real good and not actually break the capillaries in my chest.
Yes.
And possibly, like, skip my heart a beat or something.
Yeah.
But, you know. But, yeah, striking, just don't strike.
Agreed.
Like a lot of the WWE women,
like,
they're not strikers, but they throw, like, the forearm.
Yeah.
A bad forearm looks way better than a bad punch.
Agreed.
And again, the men could learn from that as well.
Oh,
so we got the Bucks against SCU.
Mm-hmm.
Not anything stood out. Like, it was a good match, but I don't have anything where I'm like, oh my god, that was the most amazing thing ever. It was just like, yeah, this match happened.
So I'm not saying I hate it, and I'm not saying I like it. This is just, I can see now, after watching a lot of the Young Bucks matches.
Yes.
Because I've never really seen a lot of them before AEW came up. The Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers is also bad for this. They do a lot of finishing
crazy moves that should end it.
Yeah, I mean, because like one guy said on Twitter, he's like, remember when the super kick was like a finisher?
If they explain, so because we were talking about this a week or two ago, where the super kick's going to be it, the cutter, the Canadian destroyer, like the awesome finishers are going to become just like a hip toss at some point. Because a suplex was a finisher at one time.
Sure.
So it's hard to keep that. It would be nice though if there was ever, because like, is anyone going to be able to use a super kick as a finisher? Probably not, unless you build it up.
Yeah.
Or you like if I had my own federation and I had the Young Bucks and I had a magic time machine that I put 20 years of life into Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing the super kick. Yeah, it's fine for the Young Bucks to do the super kick. But I'm going to constantly talk about the way he trains the super kick.
Yeah, okay.
Versus where they're just throwing it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a strike to them.
Yeah.
To him, that's a technique. Like, he has mastered it. Like, placement or something.
Okay.
And make sure that they occasionally throw, like, sloppy ones that barely connect, something like that.
Yeah.
Just to be like, this is the difference between someone who, like the Bruce Lee thing, fearing someone who's practiced 10,000 punches or one punch, whatever that thing is. Yeah. I would stress that for anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Yeah.
Or like Diamond Cutter, same thing, where like, you know, insinuate like, oh, if you watch when DDP does it, watch the way he grabs the back of the head and how tight he does it. Yeah. Versus like a lot of these guys are just kind of getting a hold of them and just going down with them. Yeah. There's not the same finishing to it. Like, it's true. The technique is off. Something like that. Yeah. But you don't hear that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's my only criticism about anytime when the Young Bucks. I don't know if it's a criticism because I like it because they're really good at what they do. Yeah. They just bounce around a lot. They do a lot of flippy doos.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of big moves, but I'm okay with it for the most part. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, I have the same criticism of NXT with Gargano, where it's like kick out of everything in the world, and it's like, dude, you need like a shotgun, and you'd probably kick out at 3.5. Like what? Yeah. What are we doing here? Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But the end of this match, the Dark Order shows up with their initiation. Yes. And I have here the Dark Order knocked the Bucks down and then violently punched the ring near them over and over. Yes. Because I think everyone's seen that gif of the one, and if you haven't, it is bad. Yes.
Because Mark Henry, I think, replied to one of them, they fire this man now.
Because it's one thing to have, like, we were talking about, like, some of the people throwing the punch. Like, there's like, okay, you're not a good striker, but this called for you throwing some strikes, so we got to get through it. Yeah. That was like, dude, just choke him. Like, instead of throwing a punch, like, just put your hands on his neck and just sit there not doing anything. That's fine. You got a mask on. Sure. You know, like, try to stiffen up your shoulders or something to make it look good, but holy moly, was that bad.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
But yeah, so you got the two new initiates, and you got the third guy in the mask that everyone is assuming is Cutler. Yeah. Would you agree that is probably Cutler?
Yeah, I would say so.
Or did they find someone who has a similar build to him intentionally just to do that.
Oh, they do the whole fake Sting angle.
I was thinking fake Cutler, and then he's going to start hanging out in the rafters on being the Elite. Like, all the videos that he shoots are going to be from the rafters. Because that would make me laugh.
Sure.
But so, all right. I think that's...
So overall, did Dynamite do what it's meant to do?
I was entertained. Like, the first hour I thought was amazing. Because I was like, I can't believe that was all 1 hour. Like, I was ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm good. Yeah. And then, like, there's some more, and that was fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still entertained.
Same.
I skimmed through, like, NWA, and I was fairly entertained, but nothing is better than ham sandwich walking around backstage.
Yes.
So, are we ready to get on to the Christmas portion here?
Movies, Christmas, and...
Die Hard.
Yeah, sure.
Die Hard and Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Okay. We need...